Hey, welcome back to the show. So this is Darth Vader, Imperial Machine, Darth Vader Volume 1 Imperial Machine. So this is another one of those short stories I was talking about that the expanding universe was engulfed with, expanding upon the lore, hence the title, Expanding Universe. And this particular story takes place immediately after Revenge of the Sith. So Vader just got into the suit and he just realized Padme's gone. So he's nothing but pure rage right now, which I actually like to see. I don't know if they have the means to do this, but this would be a really cool short story to see in live action. Because Disney Wars is just completely in the toilet right now. It has been since Disney Wars 7 came out, but people keep believing it's going to get better, and it really ain't. Got rid of the characters people give a damn about. It ain't never going to be what it used to be. I think at one point Vader realizes that Palpatine lied to him. I think he hires a bounty hunter to go to the Lost Homestead, I think it was. And there's like traces of Force energy there, which is where I think he first learns that one of his kids is alive. He doesn't know about Leia for a number of years, but he does investigate on his own time. So I think one of the biggest mistakes with Disney was not really diving into the politics of the Star Wars universe, which honestly, politics is a pretty big part of Star Wars. A lot of people forget that because it's so focused on lightsabers and whatnot. Unless they make shows like Andor guy, which is a freaking snooze fest. But diving into politics once in a while isn't a terrible idea, you know. If it's done right, if it's written well, it can work. Like, no offense to George Lucas, even he admitted that he's not at the best with the politics stuff, but if it's written well, it can work. Because politics are the only reason the Clone Wars exists. Politics are the reason the Jedi Civil War exists. Politics are the reason Palpatine rose to power. It's really not the Jedi's fault at all. Like, not really. I don't know how they could have possibly known that this senator dude was planning to destroy them the whole time. I mean, he's that powerful. But the fact that freaking Yoda couldn't sense it, or Mace Windu, or Kenobi. And there's another book called damn, I don't remember what it's called, but it features Sidious and Vader, and they're stranded on this planet together. Don't remember what it's called. Uh, Lords of the Sith or something. I never got a chance to read it, but maybe I'll get the audiobook one of these days. It's another good story about these two characters. Now, I think this planet is Tatooine, so I'm very curious that Palpatine brought him here. Like there are a few instances in the films and cartoons where we see Vader's raw power. I'm talking like this is right after Revenge of the Sith, this storyline here. Like it's rare that we see Vader go full on out. Kenobi series showed a little bit when he grabbed that ship in midair. That was kind of wasted when you find out it's not the actual ship. I know Hayden Christensen was in a suit for the Kenobi series. I mean, they really want to get fans back on board. I would suggest they get Christensen, maybe McGregor for a Clone Wars miniseries in live action. Get Christensen back in the suit and do a Darth Vader series. Flesh out that character a little bit. You said something instead of right after Revenge of the Sith, like these comics. I think that's the only way you can really get fans back. Either that or do something in the Old Republic or adapt one of the expanded universe storylines and just pretend Disney Wars never happened. Give me a Luke Skywalker, a young Luke Skywalker series. Post Return of the Jedi. Post Return of the Jedi. Give me an Old Republic series set thousands of years in the past. Give me something based on Legacy of the Force. And there's like hundreds of stories, short stories in the EU that are worthy of being adapted. I don't need everything adapted. I think some stories like Dark Empire are better left in the expanded universe. It is a little bit of a goofy story because listen to the audio drama all the time. Like it's more like Return of the Jedi Part Two versus a straight up separate storyline because the Emperor does show up out of nowhere. It's done better than it is in Disney Wars. With Disney Wars, Jar Jar Abrams doesn't know how to write shit, so it didn't surprise me. I didn't explain anything. Well, this is like a straight up solo Vader storyline. So it's an entire series. It's like multiple comics that I plan to review. I think this would be really cool to see adapted on TV. What if they got out now? That dopey kids cartoon or whatever, Skeleton City or something. Another thing I don't like is when we have these stories and we just throw in some random Jedi, like, oh, this Jedi survived the Jedi Purge, and this one went into hiding right before the temple fell. And I kind of resist that type of stuff. I'm like, there was only so many Jedi in the temple, and the ones that were in the temple were scattered across the galaxy. And well, you saw what happened. Like especially Plo Koon, never stood a chance because he was in the air. Probably didn't even notice what was going on until he was getting shot down. Adi Gala got like blown up on her speeder bike. Yeah, and Mooney might have stood a chance if he actually had more time to prepare, but Shakti got gutted in a deleted scene by General Grievous. Ayla Sakura probably got the worst of it because they kept shooting her because they knew how strong she is. And knowing the original Cartoon Network Clone Wars series, Barasoffy and her master, crap, Luminara, they were taken out and they were in the caves in Ilum, and Dooku gave the location of Ilum to the Separatists and set some bombs in the caves, and they freaking collapsed around them. I mean, they survived. Yoda found them, but he doesn't really survive, honestly. Then you see what happens to Barriss in the that new Clone Wars series, Tales of the Empire. See, I like stories like this because it just adds layers. It adds layers to these established characters, even like later. I just wish the movies were written as well. It's like example is like in the Fallen Order, Kyle runs into this crazy Jedi guy on Dathomir. Like, oh, I conquered the dark side. I'm like, yeah, you really didn't, pal. On a planet called Dathomir, you thought you conquered the dark side? You crazy? Turns out he was like a psychopath, but like, it's cool. It's kind of cool seeing those type of characters. Like, oh, I survived the purge, and yeah, okay, cool. But like, I just think it's at least they got rid of that character. But like, I think they do the whole "this Jedi survived the purge" thing. This just Jedi survived. Ahsoka survived the purge. Blah blah blah. They do that way too much in Disney Wars. The Fallen Order games are like the only exception because they're actually pretty good. So I can't really complain too much about those, or at all, really. They're both fantastic stories, and I would actually really like to see the Darth Vader comic series adapted in live action. Daniel Jones is no longer with us, but I'm sure they could find some other actor to do the voice. There have been other actors that have done the Vader voice in the past, so it won't be impossible to get someone else. I mean, if anything, and I think it was Rogue Zero. They should have used. There was this dude at the end of Revenge of the Sith who looked exactly like Tarkin from Episode 4. Sure, I don't know how old that guy was at the time, but they should have just used him in Rogue Zero for the Tarkin scenes because the CGI crap was just kind of gross. It was like, yeah. But you tell me you guys couldn't get like a living actor to do that. It was like one of the cooler things about Palpatine, especially in the Clone Wars series, where you got to see more of how like cunning he is and how like sneaky he is, secretly plotting the Jedi's downfall the entire time while pretending to be this mild-mannered senator. So yeah, one of Darth Vader's castles is on Mustafar. There's another one on this. And I'm sure he's got a throne room in the Inquisitor Fortress in the Fallen Order in the Kenobi series. It was actually really cool to see that in live action. I like that type of connectivity with these shows. I don't need it all the time, but like seeing it in Fallen Order, then seeing it in live action was pretty cool. So I'm just flipping through this real quick, and it's like it looks like he's building a new lightsaber. And so in this panel here, Vader is challenging the Emperor. And he actually beat him. Now he's having flashbacks. Seeing flashbacks of him carrying his mother, Padme Kenobi, And that all those emotions are what's making his saber turn red. So that's what they do now. It's connected to these kyber crystals are connected to your emotions now. Instead of just being a green or blue crystal. I think it's kind of dumb, but it's part of the lore now. So, and that pain he has is now he's accepted it by into this first volume. I think it'd be kind of cool to see in live action, just him accepting his pain. I did a little bit of that in the Kenobi series, but I think that shows straight from what it could have been. Should have straight up been a Clone Wars flashback the entire time. Instead of wasting a lot of screen time with that dopey character, Reva, a little 5-year-old Leia. She was cute, but I'm like, she shouldn't have been in there the entire series. That was kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I like this comic series. It's Legion's better than anything Mickey Mouse has pulled out, has pumped out in the last decade. Probably isn't hard to do.